Give yourselves a hand for coming out. Keep it going for all the comments and stuff tonight. Michael, Jeremy, Zane, they're all great. This is my voice now. This is how we live. This is how we talk in Brooklyn. So we're all raspy in Brooklyn now. I'm actually kind of sick. So it's going to be like Jordan in '97. I'm going to fucking put up numbers up here, and then I'm going to sell my sneakers after this set. Oh man, I'm not used to the suburban air. Man, I need my air very polluted. That's what I need. I'm just used to it now. I've adapted, you know. Oh man, I live in Brooklyn now. Live in Brooklyn. You guys have heard of it, right? It's pretty cool. A lot of rappers from there. A lot of changes coming to Brooklyn. A lot of changes. Yeah. Recently they planted a tree on my block. A lot of changes. Yeah. The next morning, someone had broken that tree in half. Yeah, not ready for that change yet. I can't imagine someone coming home like 3 a.m., they got their headphones on, right, they're bumping something, they look over, he's like, oh hell no. Fuck trees. He's like, first white people, now trees? It ends tonight. Just snap right in half. The greatest part is how like the city reacted to it, is that they just uprooted the tree and just paved right over it. They're like, you get one chance with trees, Bed-Stuy. That's it. Obviously bushes are out of the question. The biggest disparity I've seen in Brooklyn is that there's rich parts, there's poor parts, but the biggest disparity I've seen is that there was a poster for a lost cat, and the reward was $500. $500 for a lost cat. I'm like, holy shit, like, what is this cat like? It sounds like the beginning of like a Coen Brothers movie. Like, is that cat full of diamonds? I hope so. It's crazy to me. Like, if it was like a lost child signed in Bed-Stuy, they'd be like, I don't know, $5? Take him, he's free, I don't care. This cat was $500. Like, you know what you can get for $500? A whole house full of cats. You understand? Like, I feel like calling this number and just like with a bag full of cats and be like, is this your cat? No. Is this your cat? No. Oh, man. I've been talking about time travel a lot lately. And what I mean by that is I got a new weed guy. Yeah, he won't leave until we talk about time travel. But yeah, and he's like, yeah, if I go back in time, killing Hitler. I'm like, first of all, Jeff, super hack, everybody says that, right? And you can go back in time because you're white, Jeff. I can't go back in time to try to like looking like this, right? I come right out of the portal, all I'm gonna hear is get him. Kidding me? Like I would stick out like a Puerto Rican in Nazi-occupied Germany. Like I wouldn't even have enough time to explain that I'm half Italian and be like, I'm kinda on your side. You're like, you're here to kill Hitler, right? I'm like, yeah. The weed laws in Brooklyn are pretty loose. Like everyone does it basically. Like I feel like if I were to get arrested for smoking weed like on the street, I could probably like filibuster long enough to until like a real crime happens. Like, oh, somebody's getting stabbed over there, and just walk away. That'd be it. I don't do anything when I'm high. The one thing I do is my wife makes me walk the dogs, which is a scary thing. Like it's really like I don't want to interact with anybody when I'm high at all. And my dogs bark at people, especially in the dark. So I have to like calm them down. So what I do is like my dog will bark at somebody, and I'll get in his face and be like, hey, you're okay. You're okay, right? And then he's looking back at me. He's like, are you okay? I'm like, you're okay. He's like, that's what I just asked you. Are you okay? I'm like, there's a broken tree over there. Let's go. Let's get out of here. Oh man. Yeah. You guys know when you like meet somebody new, you ask those questions. You're like, where are you from? Where'd you go to school? Things like that, right? I get those questions, but I also get, what are you? What are you? Is what I get. Yeah. And yeah, there needs to be a more tactful way to ask what ethnicity you are, because what are you is not it, right? We can all agree on that, right? Yeah. That's not even what they mean. What they mean is, we can't finish this conversation until I figure out what's making you brownish. That's what they mean, right? This happened to me the other day. I was at a show and the guy was like, hey man, what are you? And I go, I'm half Puerto Rican. He's like, oh, okay. And I'm like, like, do you want to hear the other half? He's like, no, I'm good. I'm like, there's a whole nother half of me. He's like, nope, that's it right there. Bullseye, moving on with my life. Half of me really wanted to stab that guy. I'm a disappointment to like half the city because I don't speak Spanish. It's tough, man. Like everyone comes up to me like looking for directions, right? And I get it. Like this face looks like I can lead you to the biblioteca, but I cannot. So please stop asking me for directions. It's tough, man. I wish I spoke Spanish. Like, because they would stop fucking up my sandwich at the bodega. Please. No mustardo, please. Julio. Take it off. Excuse me. I used to work out a lot. Which is the worst brag you've ever heard. Like, I still have the remnants of that body, like I have the shoulders and the chest, and like the rest of it's just garbage. Like I'm like an old town that you drive through, and you're like, oh, this used to be something. You're like, oh, there's the old shoe factory. There's the Ames. There's the Circuit City that's a Halloween store for 3 months a year. You know, that's my body. Like I used to be really fit. Like in college, I was a bouncer. Like I really was a bouncer, but I wasn't like, you know, your normal a-hole bouncer. I was more like a bouncer from a 1980s action movie where I'd say things like, hey, the lady said she didn't want to dance. You know, things like that. If that didn't work, I just fucking roundhouse kick their asses and move on with our lives. Yeah. I still have this body, and it's tough because I still get like challenged by like guys like the Dominican bodybuilder on the subway trying to make eye contact with me. It's like, what's up, man? What's up? And I'm like, no, that's not me anymore. I'm a words guy now. This is my stop, Julio. Thank you. Same guy at the sandwich store. He's following me around. I need to get fit. I do need to get fit. I need to lose weight, but I need people to care that I lost weight. Understand? Like, I'm not fat enough for people to care that I lost weight, so I have to gain weight for people to care that I lost weight. You're following? Like, people, like, if I lost weight right now, they'd be like, oh, you weren't that fat before. I'd be like, well, you're not underneath me while I'm having sex with you. So,